Unfiltered Kitchen,
where we have a father-daughter duo.
It took us a while to get there, guys. If you only heard the first introduction we just did, it was rough.
How's everybody doing? We haven't really been away. You were away last week.
I was away.
Yeah. We've got a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah.
This one might run long.
I know. We might want to two-part this one.
We might two-part it. Do you know the things I want to talk about?
Yeah, I know one of them.
I want to talk about your relationship with your shower hose. Do you have a wand in your shower?
What?
Do you have a wand, or does yours just come out, or do you have one of those?
No, I have one that I can move.
Yeah, so your relationship there.
But why do you want to talk about that?
We'll talk about that too.
That is so random.
And then I want to talk about a couple weeks ago. We were talking about marriage and the appropriate age.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, and some of you youngsters that got married successfully and are still in a very good marriage have really beat me up. Don't beat me up. Minus general statements. We'll talk about that.
Did you get some messages after that?
I got some messages.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a message and I was like, hey, I was on your side.
Yeah.
I didn't even agree and I'm getting beat up.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
So, and then we've got a couple.
So everything that I was ready to talk about today, he has not mentioned once.
I know. So no, we did get a couple DMs of some people with some, pretty serious situations. We'll get serious on those.
Okay.
Okay, because I think that there's some people that are.
Yeah, so this week I put up a question box on Instagram and basically was like, we want to talk about like what you guys have going on. And in past episodes, my dad has said like, I want to talk about what's happening in like our listeners' lives and be able to give advice or just be able to talk things out. Maybe advice isn't the right word. And this week we got a lot of feedback from you guys seeking advice or asking questions. Some are quicker answers, and then some I was like, hey, can I DM one chick. I'm like, I need more context because I would like to talk about it, but I want more context to be able to give like a well-rounded answer. So I appreciate people who have submitted their scenarios, situations, problems, questions. I respect the ones who want to remain anonymous, and we're going to do our best at trying to get through all of those.
We never actually mentioned anybody's names, right?
No.
But it's fine when you say anonymous. What you should really clarify is it okay to do it on this forum? Yeah. Sometimes people, because I've got something that let's just between me and you. Okay. Let's just talk. They don't want it even on the podcast. And that's fine. That's respectable. And I know a lot of times people, don't ever think that I don't see yours. I see it. Sometimes it takes a minute to think about it, to for you to be able to respond. Yeah. It's not like I can see it and just go, brrrr, because a lot of times these things are pretty deep, and some of them I've experienced, some of them I haven't. Mm-hmm. So I need a second to think about it. So I may read it, at 12 o'clock midnight. Okay. And I may get to it a day, 2 days later. Yeah. Sometimes I even will say to people, hey, I see you. I hear it. Yeah. But give me a minute. I got to think about it. Because these are not, I could not do this. And this, I've talked about doing it live. You don't think you can do it live as much as he says he wants to do it live. Now he's saying he can't. I think I would give ill advice, or I think I would be I want to retract what I said last week. Uh-huh. And revise
so let's start with last week's comments or the week before's comments of you talking about young people getting married.
Okay, so if you weren't part of the podcast or if you didn't tune in, I was critical of young marriages. Now, I'm basing my thoughts, and what happened is I got hit over the head by people that have been married young and successfully still in the marriage of 8 years.
I saw one where they were like, we got married young and we've been together for 20 years now.
I haven't seen that 20-year one. But 20 years
on the YouTube.
But 20 years is, I did see.
And then who I thought about? Who? Was Taylor's parents. Taylor's parents were high school sweethearts and are still together.
Well, no, I've got stories of.
I was really going down my.
Yeah, no, my uncle and Mary Jimmy My Uncle Jimmy and Mary Bond, they've been married for probably, I'm 63. They've been married longer than I've been living. Okay?
So do you think that it's our generation?
No. I think you got to, and let me tell for those that kind of hit me over the head. Congratulations. You've accomplished with what most don't. Okay? Now, mine was not a absolute by any means. I don't have that kind of know-how. And I would never make that kind of statement. Mine was a general statement. Okay? So last thing I want to do is take away from those that have been successfully married and married at a young age. In a young age, I'm saying anything under 25. If you've tied that ribbon, tipped that blow,
that blow,
tighten that bow.
Oh my
Excuse
God.
me, little Freudian slip there. If you've gone down that road and you've been successful with it, let me tell you something. I tip my hat off to you. Okay. Now, what I was talking about is in general. Now, I mean, look, I've gone through. I'm 63. I've seen people that were married young. I know the stories. I've seen a lot more than most of our than our listeners or our viewers. So when I'm saying it was a general statement. And again, I tip the hat off to those that have done it young and have done it successfully. Now, I would call 10 years a good run. No, let me back up. I'd call 10 years a decent run.
I think 10 years is a good run.
No, it's not.
Why not?
Because that's not the objective, 10 years.
So what is a good run?
The objective is to grow old on the same pillow.
Okay.
10 years is not growing old.
Okay.
Now, me and Sam, Sunshine, we went 20 years.
Was that growing old? Older than what you were at? Yeah.
We got older. And myself, I think it was a good run. You know, she might think different, okay? She probably says, I was only good for 5 years, 15 years. 15 years of misery.
You know? It was good for the first 3. After that, fuck him.
Yeah. You know, but look, those that have done...
I really want to ask Mom now.
6 years, 8 years, 12 years, you know, it's a good run. And that's acceptable. Well, I don't think 6 is. You gotta get past 6.
No,
you know, that's young and immature at 6. But those that have done it and started young and still doing it, you know, I don't take anything away from you. And I wasn't meaning to say that it can't be done.
Is this an apology?
No, it is, because some of the people, the way they came at me, it was like somebody called me ignorant.
Look at his face.
That's ignorant. And I'm like, look, all ignorant means is you don't know. And so I have no problem with that word, but I do know. I know that you can do it. I'm just not suggesting it. Okay? The probabilities, the odds are. And those that have done it and done it well, I congratulate you. With all my heart. Truly, truly, truly. Okay? Just like the same way I want you and Zach to grow gray on the same pillow, I'd like everybody to be able to do that. I love the institution of marriage. Now, I have changed my thoughts about it over the years, but, you know, I do love it. And those that have explored that venue at a young age and have been able to do it well, yeah.
Well, good thing Zach is already going gray. We get a little head start.
Yeah, that's true.
Got a little head start.
So, guys, anybody that I did offend on that was not my intention. Okay. Forgive me.
Okay. Are you done with your apology? I think they got the point.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What is the shower head thing? Because I'm stuck on that in my head, and I feel like I can't move forward with anything else until you explain this.
You have a wand.
Yes. It detaches.
Yes. And what's your relationship with your wand?
I don't have one.
Would you ever trade it in for just a shower head?
Honestly, we had a shower head and we paid like extra money to have like this upgraded shower head that stays in our wall. Like that stays up there that you can't take down, like the wand thing. Okay. And there was one day Christine was here and she was cleaning and she took our shower head off and replaced it with one that detaches so that she could clean the whole.
So she could take and spray the shower.
Yeah, so she could take and spray the shower.
Yeah, that's the worst use of the hunt.
And I was kind of like looking at it one day, and I'm like, where did my fancy shower thing?
Did you have the rain?
Yeah, it was like a big thing. I'm like, nice. Where did that shit go? We paid extra money to get that thing up there, and it's gone. And to be completely honest, we just never changed it back.
Okay. So you don't really have a relationship with your shower wand.
I don't, but I will say that listen, Linda, listen. Okay, so I have a different shower head.
A movable.
I have 2 shower heads. Woo. So there
only I can imagine too. I've never had 2.
Shut up. So, okay. How do I explain this? A while back, I did a promotion for this brand that has toys, sex toys.
Okay.
Vibrators. And it's like all these cute vibrators that are like they look like compact. Like it looks like a little, like a makeup thing. And then you open it and then there's like the fun toy inside. And they're discreet. Maybe that's a better way of saying it.
But they are toys.
They are toys.
Yes.
And I did this whole ad about them, which is a whole nother story behind that story. Really quick, I did this sex toy ad, and this was back when Ryder was
I'm kind of glad I missed that ad.
In pre-K. Ryder was in pre-K, and she went to this school, and I realized that like none of the moms would talk to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say if the other moms,
none of the moms would talk to me at the school, and I realized like it was a thing, and I'm kind of like, why are they? It was like they weren't rude, but they just wouldn't talk to me, and it was kind of rude. And then my mom would go and pick Ryder up some days. My mom had friends at the school, and I'm like, why do they talk to her and they don't talk to me? And then I was sitting at her school one day, and I was kind of over it. I'm like, F you moms. Like, you're not going to talk to me. I'm not going to talk to you. And I'm always the youngest mom in the
I'm going to tell you something about this, though, in a minute.
And I would speak, and they would just kind of like, I wasn't invited to anything. Yeah. Whatever. There was one day this mom came up to me, and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, oh, I'm good. And then she looked at these other moms that were sitting there and being rude, and she said, you guys are just a bunch of mean bitches.
Oh, wow.
And I was sitting there like, oh, wow. Oh my God. And me and this mom became friends.
Okay.
And she later on in our friendship started to introduce me to other moms. And she's like, I want you to come to this lunch with me with some of the moms. And I was just like thinking, I don't want to go, but whatever, I went.
Because they've
all been mean
and
standoffish. And we were at lunch, and this other mom said, we all need to talk to you and ask you something. And I'm like, what? And I'm thinking like, what is happening here? Yeah. And they explained that they weren't comfortable being like friends with me because they thought that I was like a sex toy.
A sex
and
diva.
Like a sex like a porn person. And I like sold sex toys, and I had a sex shop and all these things sex related. And I was like, that's why you guys didn't want to be friends with me?
Let me tell you something. They're fake.
Yes.
They are fake.
I was just like, that's the reason.
They all have a toy at home.
Thank you.
All of them.
And I probably could have suggested different toys for you guys to get. Yeah. But it was just so like, oh my God, you guys weren't talking to me because you thought I was just like some sex person. But what would be the big deal if I was? But anyway, back to your original thing.
So wait, I just wanted to just jump in and tell you why I know they're fake. Because, so me and Sunshine were together for a long time. Since we were like 19 and 21 or 17 and 19, something like that. Long time.
Okay.
Breakups and all that, but makeups and all that. So we ended up together.
Okay.
We didn't ever play with toys. Just wasn't our thing. Okay.
Lame.
So, yeah, well,
maybe you guys would have still stayed together.
So when we finally went our separate ways and I start dating again.
You found out about toys?
Oh, everybody had a toy.
Everybody that I know has a toy.
Let me tell you something. Everybody. I don't think there was maybe one woman that was dealing with after post toy.
Yeah.
That didn't have a toy.
Yeah. So
So when these ladies are sitting up there turning their nose up, believe me, they got toys.
It was very strange, but that was that. So the same company that I worked with way back then, recently within this year hit me up to do another ad for them. And I'm just thinking, here we go again. Now my daughter's at a different school now. These parents are going to think I'm really some freaky freak because this ad was for a shower head toy.
Oh, see, we're back to the shower
We're back to the shower head.
See how it circles back around? So
this was
back
one
to my original
that
question.
You can screw off the one that I have upstairs, and you can screw this shower head on. It has like 8 different levels, like different pressures, different water, the way the water thing squirts out and all this stuff.
We call those tickles.
Okay, different tickles.
Different tickles.
And there was one day I put it on because I'm like down to try things before I promote them. I want to see if this shit works. So I put it on and I didn't tell Zach. And I later on I remembered, oh shit, the sex shower head. But it also works as like a regular.
Oh, it's actually called. It's like a sex.
No, it's it looks like a shower head, works like a shower head. Okay. But if you take it down and you turn it upside down, that shit.
Let me tell you something.
It works differently. So I didn't tell Zach, but he did notice. He's like, where's the other shower head? Like this one's pressure. It's like all these different pressures. And I was thinking, yeah, because it's to tickle your pee-pee with. It's not for you.
Let me tell you something. If my shower head grew some tits.
Oh my God, Dad.
Man, it'd be over. It'd be over. I'm done.
Do you have a relationship with your shower head?
Well, I was in the shower one day. I started developing a relationship. It was like, wow.
Oh my God, you should get this shower head.
No, I'm not going any farther. I love my wife.
I think I have an extra one I can give you. I'm not even kidding.
We'll talk afterwards.
Look, just let me just show you really quick. Open your phone. Okay, you guys, I'm not kidding. This shower head, I posted it and I got a lot of like crazy people on my page talking about like
they know about the shower head.
Well, they're just like,
here's what's the trip
why can't you use like your shower head, blah, blah, blah.
See, I had never had a wand. I was always
just that typical one.
Yeah. So I saw one day and I just kind of liked it. And every once in a while I impulse buy. So I bought it. And then I changed it.
This one is called the Womanizer Wave. See? Look. 2-in-1 use. And it has all these gentle massaging, pulsating. You take it off. Universal fit. You pop that one on. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, see, I might leave.
And it's all look. It has
Teresa, baby, you in trouble, baby.
I'm not even kidding. People ate me up in these comments. And then some of my friends who stay here, Vanessa and Kyle, who are always here, Vanessa said, put that in the downstairs shower. Someone said, I think this is hella nasty. Other people have to use that shower head. I'm like, what? What do you think I'm doing? Sticking it up my coochie?
I don't know if I could say this.
What? Then someone said,
let's just say
my water bill's going to skyrocket.
I'm going to rephrase it.
What?
So once I put the shower, hit the wand in and started to learn some of the joys of the water.
I can't believe you're telling me this.
So I asked T one day, I said, how you like the shower head?
And what'd she say?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to gift you guys a Womanizer Wave.
She's like, oh, yeah. I can't tell you exactly what she said.
I'm going to give you guys a wave for your house for Christmas.
All right, come on. Let's get. I'm probably in trouble.
How do you guys like your shower head?
Yeah, what's your relationship with your shower head?
Oh, my God. Not what is your relationship with your shower head?
Mine has
Dad, we get it. You like your shower head.
All right. Well, that's just...
I'm really happy that you are growing up and that you're learning that there's new things in life.
Okay. Yeah.
25 years of marriage and you guys didn't ever use a toy?
We never used a toy.
That is just lame. You never went to sex tours and like tried things out, walked around, picked things out?
No. We didn't do that.
Okay.
I mean, look,
do you use toys now?
Come on, I can't talk about it now.
You can't tell us if you use a toy or not? Okay.
No, I don't use a toy now. My wife is very traditional. Yeah, well, sometimes. But she's still my baby.
But she does have a relationship with her shower head.
She does. Yeah, when I asked her, she was like, ooh.
So we're going to dive into some of the things that you guys sent us this week. This one stood out to me, and it was a 3-part. So I'm just going to read it as it is. So part 1 is, my sister-in-law is pregnant, and she drinks alcohol and smokes weed daily. I'm disappointed my brother is allowing it. Part 2, I think the baby deserves the best chance growing inside their mommy's tummy, so I'm going to be the person to speak up. Part 3, how can I start this conversation?
Shit, just blast them.
Oh my God.
Oh shit, you gotta blast them.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell are you doing, drinking and smoking, and what the hell are you doing allowing it?
Yeah.
That one's easy.
I agree.
Don't tiptoe. Look, if they kick you out the house, just come back to the house the next day.
Yeah.
Okay? Because somebody needs to get hit over the head.
I think that's one that you don't tiptoe around, and that's one that you call out, like, immediately. Especially if you're seeing it, then at that point, to me, you're also enabling it because you're not calling it out. If my sister was next to me and she's pregnant and she's drinking, I'm going to be like, put the fucking drink down. What are you doing? You're pregnant. Why are you drinking? And I'm not going to sit back and be like, oh, she's going to be mad at me. Who cares at that point?
Okay, I'm gonna give you one other option. I already said what I would do. And
call
she's
it out.
like me. So here's another option. If they are on social media at all, let's say IG, okay, start sending them information on the detrimental aspects of what they're doing.
Well, they could do that regardless if they're on social media or not. You can find articles of that and just text
that's what I'm saying. No, that's what she can start doing.
Yeah,
okay.
Or maybe
and to him.
Maybe because I would assume you have a relationship with your brother. Maybe you approach your brother first to say, hey, you realize this is an issue. She's pregnant. She should not be drinking or smoking while she's pregnant. Let's figure this out. Approach him before approaching her, and maybe you and your brother can unite to then approach the pregnant one. But I think if it's something where they're sitting there drinking together, then you got to blast them both.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They might both be this brain dead, where they just don't even see it. And if that's the case, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do for them. The child still may be just fine. I've seen kids
I know people who smoked during their pregnancies. I don't know people who drank during their pregnancies, but I do know moms who do smoke during their pregnancies. And there's studies on it. There's studies on if it affects the baby or doesn't affect the baby. But
that's what I'm saying. Send her that information and send him that information. Now, if that doesn't move them, then, just her maternal spirit isn't where yours is. Okay? And that's here's the deal. You can't always be responsible for everyone else's life or life changes, life choices. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's, kind of what I was talking about earlier in this week, the decisions that you make. Now that's decisions that they make. But here's where the grace is that I've seen crack babies do their thing, become attorneys. And I've seen kids that have a great foundation. Mama's a doctor, daddy's a dentist.
Become crackhead.
Living in the ditch. Yeah. So, yes, you should definitely speak on it. My style would be to hit them over the head. If that's not your style, send them some information. Just bombard them. And there's tons of information.
Overload them with it.
Yes. And if they don't make a move, then, shame on them. But again,
At least you did your part as the aunt and to try everything to protect the baby.
Yes.
So I think you have 2 options there. Hit them over the head with information or just confront that conversation head on. But I wouldn't shy away from that conversation at all.
I was smoking when I conceived Kyle.
What?
That's why she's a little crazy.
Oh my God, Dad.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
like, what is your point in telling us that?
Please don't hit anybody. I'm just kidding. That was a shot at a poor joke.
That was a terrible joke.
That's my baby girl.
Oh my God. I'm like, where are you getting it? Wow.
Okay.
Okay, this is one. I've been with this man for 1.5 years and we're not girlfriend and boyfriend because he does not want it.
And what do you want?
I think she clearly wants to be girlfriend and boyfriend.
Okay. So I've said this before, that as a woman, sometimes you have to give the man the ultimatum, because most men, not all men, some men are, head over heels in love. Or some people call it PW.
Pussy whip.
I didn't say that. That's what some people call it. Most men, my generation that I've grown up, that I know, even young cats, they're not really interested in getting married. They're fine being boyfriend and girlfriend.
I know plenty of guys.
And again, I'm talking general. So don't anybody beat me up.
Beat him up because I don't agree.
Okay. I think that what you have to do sometimes is you have to take your man and you have to corner him and you have to give him an ultimatum and say, look, either shit or get off the pot. Which in layman's term, either we're gonna do this thing and get married, or else I got to go. And
I also feel like it depends on your age. Like there's, to me, at a certain point of dating, that it's kind of like, all right, if we're not even girlfriend and boyfriend and we've been doing this for a year and a half, like we can't even reach that next level of commitment, and let's say you're in your 30s or something, then there's a problem there. To me, I'm not sitting down.
But what if they're younger?
Okay, in their 20s, then I think it's a little different.
Because that was part of my lifestyle, is I never claimed a girlfriend because I was moving around. And I wasn't trying to disappoint anybody.
So did you claim mom because she gave you an ultimatum?
Yes. Yeah, that's how I know it works. That's how I know it works.
Ultimatums work, but I don't necessarily want to have to give an ultimatum for somebody to settle down with me.
Yeah, but you got to understand, a man's mentality is different than yours of a woman, okay?
Not every man, though. I didn't have to give Zach an ultimatum.
No, I understand. I understand that. And so I'm not talking about every man. I'm talking in general.
Okay.
See, this is like the young getting married young. Don't beat me up.
I'm not
talking about every man.
I just don't think you can put a general statement that it's either give an ultimatum or there's some guys that are just PW'd, or what about the other ones?
Okay, so there are some like myself.
Okay. Who needed an ultimatum.
Yes, I needed an ultimatum.
All right.
I would have never got. I was fine being best friends, lovers, companions, living together.
Everything but the title.
It's just because I didn't need it. To me, I didn't need the state to sanction what we were doing.
Okay.
I didn't need it to be ordained by some minister who's got some little piece of paper that da-da-da.
Okay.
I didn't need all that. There was enough love and respect and good mutual, compromise in the relationship that everything was cool. Everything was dandy.
But when it came down to it, given the ultimatum, you were like, I'm going to go with this rather than give it up.
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to lose. I wasn't going to. Look, when I got married to your mom, there's no way I was going to lose your mom. Okay? Same thing with Teresa. So I'm not going to lose that. both of these women were very good to me.
Did Teresa give you an ultimatum?
Yes.
So you're just one of those who need an ultimatum.
I'm one of those that you got to put me, feet to the fire. So I'm cool with what we got.
Which I guess is different. I feel like if you have to give an ultimatum, then does it take away from your love for that person?
It does not. Don't think that it does. It does not. It's just a different way of thinking. See, where you are more traditional, let's do this the way the community has designed us to do it. Okay. I was more so of, I don't care what the community thinks. I'm thinking, but me and you are down. We're doing this together. We're growing, we're building, we're doing whatever we do. Mm-hmm. I don't need the state to come in here and say, okay, I ordained this. To me, that's, look at you rolling your eyes like, blah.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But at the same time, I understand a woman's perspective of wanting to, cross the T's and dot the I's.
What do you think about guys giving an ultimatum?
A guy giving a woman an ultimatum? She don't love you.
Well, oh my God, that is so.
It's different. You understand? Men and women think differently. Don't think that we're on the same emotional level.
It's not. If I give you an ultimatum, it's not you don't love me. But if you give me an ultimatum, I don't love you. Make sense.
Now again, I'm talking generals. Now there are some women that are they're aggressive in their career. They're trying to make that happen. They're not thinking about popping out kids or the maternal life. Mm-hmm. They're just trying to build. Okay. Women generally are the ones that create the love, that bind it all together, that make it. Don't be sitting back like that.
I'm just waiting for the comments to say sexist.
I'm not trying to be sexist. Let me tell you something real plain and simple. If you think that men and women handle emotions and love the same, then you're wrong.
I'm not saying that, but I think that it's wrong to say that if a man gives an ultimatum, it's because he needs his feet to the fire, versus if a man gives an ultimatum, she doesn't love you. I think that's wrong. I think we're just going to disagree.
Okay, so I saw this show on Netflix. Netflix.
Yes.
It was called The Ultimatum.
Yes, and there's plenty of women who have given the ultimatum.
Right, the women giving.
And there's plenty of men who gave their girl the ultimatum.
And watch the show, season 2. They didn't get married. She wasn't in love.
I gotta go back and watch.
I gotta
go back and watch because I don't have a response.
Let me tell you something. I watched it. There was one woman that left with another guy. So he was like...
Okay, I gotta go back and watch.
If a man has got to give a woman an ultimatum, because I'm just going to draw the picture, and this is not a picture that is new to you, okay? A woman's picture is, let me find my princess.
Not everybody's woman's picture is that. Not
everybody. I'm saying in general, okay? In general, I'm talking 75% of the time. 25% of women are totally independent and do their own thing, okay? But most women are like, I want to find my princess. I want to have 2.5 kids. I want a white picket fence and 2 cars. I want a big house, and I want him to make all the money.
Eat him up. Chew him up, and spit him out.
That does sound a little sexist.
Eat him up. My God.
I might retract the statement.
Eat him up.
Y'all don't beat me up too bad.
Chew him alive.
Okay. All right.
Good. We're going to stop. Just stop.
Okay.
I want to go and watch season 2 because we're going to come back to this.
Okay.
We're going to come back to this.
Okay.
And I cannot wait for you guys to eat him up.
Then let me just challenge you this.
What?
In terms of the emotion of love.
Okay.
Who exudes it more?
I think
men or women, or is it equal?
I think it goes case by case.
Sure, it goes case by case, but who exudes it more?
I think it goes case by case.
Okay, look at your friends.
Okay. I can look at the relationships around me.
Okay.
I would say Teresa exudes love more than you do.
Okay. So 1 for women.
I would say David exudes love more than
Okay,
Mom.
1-1. You and Zach, I'd say Zach more so than you. So
I exude love.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying. Okay, maybe we better stop. That's not a.
I'm not saying it's a shot, but you think he exudes love more than I do?
Oh, come on. Zach comes down with 50 roses of flowers. Okay? That's big to me. That's big. That's like, ooh, I've never done that. I mean, I'm like, that brother makes it hard.
Okay, he's okay, yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk.
He's better than me.
So let's go some of your friends. DJ and
let's go Remy and Brandon.
Remy and Brandon, I think, is pretty 50-50.
I think they're pretty 50-50.
They're 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kyle and Vanessa. They're two crazies together. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know their story as well.
Ashley and Kenton. I think they're pretty 50-50.
Okay. All right.
I get what your point is, and I think it can go tit for tat. We can go tit for tat on it all day.
We can. You're right.
So let's just call it what it is. I can't wait for the comments. I can't wait for people to chew you up again. You're going to be doing another apology next week.
Somebody please feel my pain. look.
Somebody please, Bill, is that a cry for help?
It's a cry for help.
Oh my God.
I just think that women are the ones that want to get married more so than men. That's all. Now, that has nothing to do with love. I think men fall madly in love with women. Okay? And I congratulate those that are able to take the step up. Maybe it's just maybe it's me personally. Maybe I wasn't able to step up by myself.
Ooh, you
I
think
needed
so?
the encouragement. Maybe so.
Ooh,
and
wow.
maybe I'm taking what I've done.
Look at that self-awareness.
Yes, okay. All right.
Wow.
All right.
Did it take 60 years to get there?
Okay.
All right. Hiding finances from husband or wife.
That's a little detrimental. That's somebody doesn't trust somebody.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not love. That's loving your money more than you love your spouse.
Or loving an image.
What's the image? What do you mean?
Like if you're hiding from your spouse your finances, maybe to me, if you're hiding it in a way of trying to project a certain image, like to project that you have money and maybe you don't have money, then you're protecting your image.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to say one thing about that because yes,
you get what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
Not saying that it's a good thing to do. I don't believe in that. Zach and I are very open with our finances. Number one, we have to be because we're still in the process of building just our financial portfolios. So I need to know what you got in your account. You need to know what I have in my account so that we're able to move in a
fluid way
together because there's some months where I have it and there's some months where I don't have it. And to me, it's the best thing to be able to lean on your partner and to be able to be open about your finances to say like, hey, I need help with this, or you think this month you can handle this bill because I can't handle this bill right now. Yeah. And if you're hiding, then how are you guys able to communicate what that looks like? And if you're hiding your finances, to me, how are you able to grow? Like, how do you set goals for the future of things that you want to do if you're hiding? To me, being honest with your finances, being honest with yourself, and it's also being honest within your relationship and your relationship goals.
Okay. I don't disagree with anything you said, but I'm going to throw a caveat out there.
Okay.
Money often makes people go crazy. It makes them make decisions that they wouldn't ordinarily make.
Can you give me an example?
So, for example, this person may love her to death, but the influence of money makes him hide it.
In what way? So I get what you're saying, but I'm trying to understand.
Well, I think what you have to do is you have to when it comes to money, you always have to give grace to the person. Okay?
Who has it or doesn't have it?
Doesn't matter. Well, who it doesn't matter because you could either be the person that has it or doesn't have it. Mm-hmm. Okay? And it can still make you crazy. I've seen money make people do things that they would not ordinarily do. Okay. It wasn't for not money. Okay? I've seen people lie. Mm-hmm. I've seen people, just create havoc. Okay? All over money.
Do you think in a relationship, let's say a newer relationship, do you think it is good to be honest about your financial situation, or do you think it's not that person's business?
I think it's best to be honest, and you have to understand the relationship of money, and don't let it take you and grab you by the nuts and swing you around the room, bang your head up against the wall. Okay? Money's not that big of a deal. You certainly should not ever compare money to love. You shouldn't compare it to family. You should be able to lose money to the villain and not call him a villain because they didn't do it purposely, in situations. Let's say somebody borrows money from you and they can't pay you back. So now you've been out of shape. Well, they did not pay you back on purpose. They don't have the ability to. I've had people steal from me and I forgive them just because I didn't understand the lure of money. It is so corruptive. It is so intriguing. And that's the society that we set up in this capitalist world. Makes money like it's greater than God. It's certainly greater than love, greater than a relationship. I mean, just in what your people say. He hides it from me. It's not necessarily because he doesn't trust you. And that's what we said initially, I think, something like that. But it is because he might be one of those people that money makes him go crazy. I've seen it time and time and time again. I'm not going to talk to my brother because he borrowed money from our family and hasn't paid it back. Well, he hasn't paid it back not because he's a crook or a criminal. He doesn't have the ability. He hasn't earned it back for whatever reason. He's not an earner. Somebody steals money from you, borrows money from you, doesn't pay back, whatever the case. Be glad you're in the position that you are the one that was stolen from, that you have it, as opposed to the one that needs it. I mean, money is tricky. It's such a tricky. Don't get caught in a trick bag.
But now, I don't know if I would be comfortable going back to this, hiding it from your.
Okay, so
I don't know if I wouldn't want to be in a relationship that says husband and wife. I'm not going to marry somebody who's going to hide finances from me.
Okay, here's part of the conversation: is you have to try to educate your spouse as to how corruptive money can be. Don't let this be a wedge between us.
Okay.
Okay. Don't let it cause an issue when there's no issue. Money is corruptive, can be. And it makes people go crazy. So maybe you just sit down and have a conversation. We've got to be able to share this information with each other so that we can grow together. I'm not trying to take yours. I'm not trying to take advantage of you. I don't want you to lose your money. You can still stay in control of it. But we need to understand what we're working. We need to understand what we're working with.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people don't understand. They haven't had that thought. So they don't understand how corrosive money and holding on to it can be. Now, once you start to have that conversation and people start to realize, well, I do trust you. So I don't know why I'm not willing to tell you. Mm-hmm. And it's really comes down to money. And what you simply ask your mate is to ask them, do you love the money more than you love me? Mm. And if they do, well, maybe they're not for you. And if they say, no, I really don't, but I need my money. Well, but that's okay, as long as you don't love the money more than you love me. Boom.
He really felt like he did good on that answer for once.
When you get a boom at the end, boom. That's because, look, let me tell you something. I've spent a good number of my years trying to fight the influence of money. I try not to let it, change me, who I am, change my opinion of a person because of who they are in their relationship with money. Like, I've seen a lot of people that just, they say stupid shit, they do stupid shit.
Yeah.
But I understand it's because of money. So I'm like, you get from me, you get a pass. Okay?
Yeah. So
check yourself when it comes to your wealth. Wealth is not money. Wealth is family, friends, honesty, all the beautiful attributes that you can talk about a person. Money, all it does is buy things. Doesn't make you a better person. Doesn't make you happier. Well, maybe. You can always test that. Does money make you happy? That's worth the test.
I'm a little happy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this last one, and then we're going to have to part 2 this one.
Okay.
What's
part 2? Okay,
we're going to do part 2 because there's so many other questions, so we're going to do 2 parts.
So if you see us in the same clothes, it's not that we didn't,
Anyway, right. This last one is, would you advise young women to live with a partner prior to marriage?
Oh, without a doubt. Well, young women, what's that young women stuff? How old is she?
I don't know, but I think they're just trying to ask, would you advise you to live with your partner before you get married?
I would. I personally would. I think the days of old courtship, staying a virgin until the day of your wedding. I mean, look, if you're a Mormon or whatever the case, that's the way you roll. I have no problem with that. But a city slicker like, the way I've grown up in the city is, you want to get to know this woman before you commit to this woman and, start to share all your finances with him. Start to share all your heart with her. Start to share all your deep, dark, and secret. And Chey, start to share your toys. You need to know who they are.
Yeah, I say live together first. I get it's not traditional.
Yeah, it's not traditional.
I understand that completely. But I would say that not living with somebody and then marrying them and then you're gonna find out who they are.
Ooh, boy.
I think there's a different level to a person when you live with them. You find out things that you're never gonna find out dating. without living together. It's just a whole nother level of life that you haven't reached until you live with this person. Even I hear some of my friends who are like, oh, well, we kind of live together, like, because he stays at my house 2 nights out of the week or 5 nights out of the week or whatever. I'm like, it's not the same. Yeah, it is not the same. It's so different when you are in the same house every single day, every day, and things happen. Yeah. Fights happen. Where are you going to go?
I could go to anybody's house. Well, that's previous to being married, and be on good behavior. You know. Yes. Take a shower every day. Yeah. You know, clean up. In real life, right. Man, look, I ain't trying to clean up. I ain't even trying to take a shower, but every 3 days.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you? There's just certain things that you find out about a person after you live with them. There's certain things that, like Zach and I, we've lived together. We lived together before we got married. We've lived together like 4 different times in 4 different parts of our lives.
Lived together. I didn't even know. I was like, yo, tricky little bastard. Yeah,
we definitely have lived together in like different seasons of our life over the past 10 years. And I would say that I learned way more about him in the times that we lived together and dated versus the times that we dated and he had an apartment and we lived separately. Yeah. And seeing the differences in that, I was like, whoa. For example, like when we lived together, it was just, Zach is very OCD about things, about where things are placed and how things are cleaned and just different things. So when we lived separate and we were dating, if you went to my house,
it's a mess.
It wasn't a mess, but it was not a mess. But if you go to Zach's house, Zach had this apartment. Clean. It was all white. All the furniture was white. Clean. All the counters were white. And he would follow you around with a broom and a Swiffer.
It's like a commercial.
It was literally like a commercial. And I remember there was one day I had Ryder and Boz with me. And he's like, bring him over here. I was like, hell no. Because where are they going to go? Like, they can't touch anything. And he goes, no, I got him. And I think I wanted to, like, go get my nails or something. I was like, oh, my poor kids are about to be scarred. So I was like, whatever. So I brought him over there. And I kept on saying, send me proof of life. Like, send me pictures of the kids because what are you doing to them? He built a tent in his room and put all their toys under this tent. And it was like their one little area to like blow up. And he like made a line. It was like, you can't go past this line with your shit. But I would say it helped so much living together prior to us getting married because we learned so much about each other. And if I didn't do that and we got married, I think it would have been like a little shell shock for both of us because Zach had to see my tendencies. I had to see his. He literally cleans our house like 3 times a day. He wakes up, he cleans midday, and before he goes to sleep, the house has to be clean. But there's certain things that I know Zach does not like to do. He has a phobia with dishes. So I know I have to do the dishes. And I'm fine with that because that's my one task is to do dishes.
In terms of cleaning.
Yeah. And he cleans everything else. Okay. But when it comes to dishes, I know that is my thing. And the whole house will be clean. And if there's a dish in the sink, he's looking at me like, get that dish. Yeah. But I know that now. Right. And I'm okay with that. And we've kind of had to work through that.
So did you learn that?
I learned that with us living together. Okay. And there's certain things that he's learned. Like he says I disappear in the bathroom. And I have a tendency of going to the bathroom and walking out with none of my clothes. And the pants will still be at the toilet. Like when you take your pants off and it's like you just got out of them. Yeah. So he'll walk in the bathroom and be like, you disappeared? Where are you? I can't find you because the pants are right there. Like there's just certain things that we've learned about each other that could make or break a relationship. Like all those small things. How you shower. Do you get in the bed before you shower? Do you wear clothes, your outside clothes and sit on the bed? Like, that's a whole thing. Do you take your shoes off at the door? Like, there's so many small things that you would think, oh, that's not a big deal. But those are, in the thick of things, those are things that become big
because it can be very irritating to a person that has a different expectation. Yeah. So, in terms of the tradition, traditions are one thing, but you guys can understand this world is changing so fast, so rapidly. Things that have been tradition. Just think about it like this. Ryder is 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Time Ryder starts dating, which is another, let's say 8 years, she's 14. No. Yeah, she'd be 14.
She's not dating at 14.
Well, let's say looking at boys or whatever.
Okay.
Do you know the first person she probably is Google-eyed about will be an AI image as opposed to a real person?
Okay.
I mean, it's very feasible. The way AI is coming along, it's going to be this gorgeous AI. He said, Mom, I just, the same way people used to Google-eyed about Michael Jackson or whoever, she's going to be Google-eyed about an AI image.
I say, Ryder, this is a fake image.
But the point is, things are moving so differently that the tradition, and you understand that tradition of, that she's referring to, not living, she didn't say not living with, but that goes back before my generation. That's prior me.
I think you got to test a car before you drive it.
I think so. Milk the horse before you. No, it had to do with milking a cow.
Did you just say milk the horse?
Milk the horse.
We're done
milk
here.
The cow.
You're fired.
Make sure the milk's not spoiled.
You're fired.
Something like that.
Get out. Go back home.
We're going to continue. We're going to say goodnight right now.
Yeah.
But we're going to continue because we're doing it hog style tonight.
Oh, we're gonna do another one right after this. Well, I need to check on my kids first.
Okay, that's fair. So, tell a friend if you like our little deal, our little.
If you like our podcast, please spread the word about it. We want to grow our podcast.
Actually, do more than that. I want you to hold the axe over somebody's head and say, "I want you to watch." If they don't watch it, clobber them. Bye, guys.
Okay, we're done.